going to be doing the ABC tag. I copied down all the questions. I'm honestly not sure who originally wrote the tag, but I've seen a lot of people do it, and I'm going to copy the questions down in the description box if you guys want to do it. I don't feel the need to tag anybody specific whenever I do these. Just if you want to jump on board and do it, do it. If you don't, don't. It's all cool. I just thought it sounded fun and I wanted to do it. So, and before we start, can I just divert your attention over here to this lovely sign my sister made me for the channel? Isn't that pretty? See, unfortunately, I thought it was going to be more visible where I put it, but apparently, unless I, like, move my table like that, well, I guess it kind of shows then. But yeah, so, anyway, let us get started with the ABC tag. So the first one on it, A, is for age. As most of you know, I am 31. B is for biggest fear. I have a lot of biggest fears. Just trying to pick out the biggest of the big fears. Probably abandonment, or vomiting, or being abandoned while vomiting. I don't know. C is for current time. I actually did not stop to look at what time it was before I started recording, and I'm recording on my iPod, so shit, I don't know. But it's 9-something in the morning here. I think it's about a little before 9:30, if I'm not mistaken, but by the time this uploads, that'll be incorrect anyway, so whatever. D, drink you last had. I just finished my coffee, so that one's easy. E, easiest person to talk to. Oh, that one's hard. That's probably really sad, that I don't have a concrete answer to that. I tend to be a really open book with just everybody, and usually people get massively uncomfortable over that and don't want to deal with it. So then I feel like, shit, I shouldn't have said so much. Now I don't know what I can or can't say. And then I clam up and just don't talk. So I have issues with what is and isn't acceptable public speech. So anyway, F is for favorite song. Oh, don't do that to me. I can't even pick a favorite single song per artist, much less out of anything. So I'm gonna go with my cop-out answer here, and just go with the theme song from the movie Arthur. Yes, the one by Christopher Cross, that's the one that I've always said that if I were to, it'll probably never happen, but if I ever got married, it would probably be my first dance song, so. G is for grossest memory. I have a lot of grossest memories. Well, I should say I have a lot of gross memories, but the one that is the grossest, you may not want to know. It's pretty bad, and I'm giving you full warning. If you are queasy, you probably want to click out of this video now. It's not a pretty story. So, okay. Grossest story. I should point out, I was no more than 3 or 4 years old when this happened. I was definitely still a toddler. I'm leaning towards thinking I was 3, but given that I remember it pretty vividly, it may have been 4, but alright. So I used to have this habit where I kissed my pet cats all the time, which sounds innocent enough, doesn't sound too bad, until you realize I was one of those gross children that always did open-mouthed kisses, and you realize that this would entail getting fur in my mouth every single time I kissed the cats. Now, even that, sorry, my nose is itchy, even that does not sound ultimately that gross. Yet. This gets gross because I would also close my eyes when I kissed the cats, and it was only a matter of time. It was inevitable, it was going to happen sooner or later, that one of the cats would turn the fuck around before I kissed the cat. And long story short, I kissed the cat's asshole, I caught worms, I had to be on meds for a week to get rid of said worms. Yeah. That was a thing that I did. Not on purpose, because obviously if I had seen a cat's butt in my face, that would not have been a thing. So, just, I still, get so squicked out remembering that just I opened my eyes and, ah! Like, I think I actually did legit throw up pretty fucking fast after I realized what had just happened. Good God, it was gross. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay, so we're going to move on from that because I don't want to think about it any more than you want to think about it. So, alright. Letter H is for hometown. I live in a small, very small town called Castro Valley that's in California. And basically, if you're not from the Bay Area, you don't know where that is. So I'm just going to make it easy for you. It's about 45 minutes away from San Francisco, about 20 away from Oakland. Yeah, it's that area. Magical. I is for in love with. Well, given that I am not dating at this juncture, I can't answer it in that context. But that's probably going to fall down to celebrity in love with. And I'm going to go with my cop-out answer of Paul McCartney, because it always comes back to Paul, doesn't it? Letter J is for jealous of. Nancy Cheval for marrying Paul McCartney. Letter K, killed someone? No, have you? Like, for real, if you can answer yes to this, you should not be on fucking YouTube. You have a lot bigger problems to worry about. It kind of concerns me that that was one of the questions on this tag. Letter L, longest relationship. That one's... It's complicated to answer, because it was a complicated relationship, and the lines of definition were not clear on both sides of it, and at what point it started and at what point it ended were very blurry, and when it would stop and start, it was all bad. But basically, if we're counting all of it, because I don't know what even does and doesn't constitute it to this day, 11 years. Now, if we're going for one that I did most definitely know the parameters of start and end, 4.5 years. So, just a little jump between those two. Basically, I have not dated that many people, and the ones that I do date, I cling to like a freaking motherfucker because I have abandonment issues. Just a thought. Anyway, letter M is for middle name. Letter M is also for what my middle name is, because it's an M name. My middle name is Michelle. Yes, after the song, my mom was just as much an insane Beatlemaniac as I am, which is why she'd named me after a Beatles song. If she had had her way, she wanted that to be my first name. Fucking phone, I swear, every time. But anyway, if she had had her way, that would have been my first name. I would have been forever thankful for it, but at least I have it as a middle name, so that is still a thing. And Jenny sounds like Penny, so I used to sing Penny Lane as Jenny Lane, which is kind of stupid. But now Paul has his song Jenny Wren, so it's all good. Anyway, letter N is for number of siblings. 3. O is for one wish. Probably that everybody could just put their petty bitchiness aside and just all get along. It's so basic, and yet humans just cannot seem to fucking do it. It sucks, but it is what it is. Letter P, person you last called. Oh god, I fucking never use the phone. I have so much phone anxiety. Probably, realistically, the last phone call I made was when I was calling around different stores trying to figure out where the hell carried that one chapstick I couldn't find. Which is really sad that I actually called around stores to find these things, but to find them to review for you guys, I kind of have to do that sometimes, so. Stupid sniffly nose. But, yeah. So that was probably the last one. Next one that I need to call is probably the dentist, but, yeah, last one was probably, like, Walgreens or Target or something. Q, question you're always asked. Ironically, that's probably the same one that's the first one on here. I always get asked about my age because nobody can ever believe that I am the age I am. They either think I'm way older than I am or they think I'm way younger than I am, depending on present company. So, it is what it is. It's always been that way. No matter what age I've been, people have always assumed that I'm either way older or way younger than I actually am. Letter R. Reason to smile. Damn it, I forgot to bring my dog in here. Because I was just gonna hold her up. I'll let you guys look at her and be like, that is my reason to smile. But since she's not in here, yeah, my dog. Letter S. Song last sang. Pathetically? Probably the alphabet to make sure I didn't miss any letters when I was copying these down. Yeah, I am totally that person that still has to sing the alphabet to make sure I didn't miss any letters in the alphabet. Not gonna lie. Okay. T. Time you woke up. You know, today I actually slept in a little bit, although my idea of sleeping in and most people's idea of sleeping in are two vastly different things, because for me, 7 o'clock is totally slept in, because normally, by nature, I will wake up at 3, 4, or 5 in the morning. That's just how I'm hardwired. I've literally been like that since I can remember. Like, even as a toddler, I apparently did that and drove everybody nuts that I was a little kid running around the house at fucking 3 in the morning looking for Pop-Tarts or something. I don't know. That always seemed to be the thing when I don't do that part of it anymore, but when I was super little, yeah, I distinctly remember getting up. It would still be freaking dark out. I would be tiptoeing through the house, and I would go get some Pop-Tarts, and I would tiptoe back through the house with my Pop-Tarts. I felt like we're the freaking treasure of the lost ark or something, because I actually got them and didn't get caught. Yeah. So, not much has changed, but now I just keep them in here, and I just wake up whenever and basically dick around on the internet because it's something to do at 3 in the morning. Usually it just consists of YouTube or Netflix at that hour, because there's not a whole lot of things you can do at that hour and not wake people up. And even then I put on headphones just to be sure I don't bother anybody. The walls here are remarkably thin, and Kimmy's room is not that far away from mine, so I don't want to wake her up, especially because she doesn't have a door on her room anymore. We're not going to talk about that. But yeah, so I have to be real careful about what all I do at hours of the morning when people are still asleep. I used to play video games at those hours until the Donkey Konga incident. I was sitting on the floor and I had the controllers sat in front of me on the floor, and I did not realize that when you do that in this house, downstairs it sounds like a freaking elephant is jumping on the floor whenever I hit the little bongo controllers. Yeah, that was a thing that I got in heaps of trouble for as a grown-ass adult. I did not mean to start any trouble, but it just, yeah, I didn't do that again. After I realized that everybody could hear it downstairs, I don't think I even played it again, period, because I was all self-conscious about it. I was like, oh god, I am so sorry, I had no clue. Because in our old house, they were solid floors, because it's just one floor, so I mean, I played this shit at any freaking hour of the day or night, and it was never a thing that I even had to take into consideration, because it didn't bother anybody, but yeah, things of living in a house with an upstairs for the first time as an adult. I'm still learning shit that apparently you can hear downstairs. Anyway, but yeah, so today I actually slept until about 7. I think it was like 7:15 when I got up. I was like, holy crap! I actually slept in. Now, for most people, that would still be waking up early, but for me, since I am usually up at like 3, 4, or 5, one of those 3 hours is generally the point of which I wake up and just am like, fuck it, sleep's not happening. Yeah, that is sleeping in for me. The only time I sleep later than that is if I am sick. And even then, my idea of sleeping in is not most people's idea of sleeping in. And then it's all of 9 o'clock. Oh, but yeah, that. And I am that person who cannot nap. Yeah, that was probably magical for my parents when I was super little, that I was the kid who, even as a tiny ass little kid, just did not nap. Probably part of why I'm so short, my body didn't get the rest it needed. Anyway, so, U is for underwear color. I am uncomfortable with this question, but I'm going to look, because I don't keep track of that shit. Nobody sees it. Apparently they are pink. As if you guys needed to know that. V is for vacation destination, and I'm not quite sure if they mean one that I want to go to or one that I've been to. So, I'm going to assume they mean one that I want to go to, because that makes more sense, and I think hands down, that goes down to England. Most people would say specifically London, but I'm saying England as a whole. I want to see the whole damn thing. W is for worst habit. I have a lot of those, but probably excessively worrying and obsessing about shit that is out of my control, given that I have literally all the different types of anxiety disorders a person can have. There is literally nothing I don't worry about. That's just how my brain works. My idea of calm and normal would probably break most people. So, yeah, but that's just how it's always been. So that's my baseline of normal. X is for X-rays you've had. I don't know if they're asking how many or which ones. If they're asking how many, I honestly do not have a fucking clue because there's too many of them. If we're talking about what specifically they've been, there's virtually nothing I haven't had X-rayed at least once. I mean, obviously, first off, dental X-rays. Most people have a lot. I've had much more than normal people because, with the exception of braces, I have had pretty much any dental procedure you could have done on me. At least once. Usually more than once. Almost every tooth in my mouth is root canal, capped, there's some implants in there, I've had extractions, I've had fillings, I've had deep cleanings, I've had some sort of periodontal surgery, I forget what the fuck it even was, but yeah, basically anything that you could do to my mouth, I've had done to my mouth at least once. But yeah, so those X-rays were a thing. I've had head X-rays many, many times for a whole gamut of reasons, for concussions, to fucking see tumors and shit, to see my sinuses, because I've had chronic sinus issues my entire life, which is probably surprising to no one from how much I still sniffle in every video, because I've never been able to get them under control. Yeah, so those were a thing. I have had my ankle X-rayed. I believe it was my left one, although at this point I do not remember for sure, but logically thinking of the incident that led up to it, I think it had to have been the left one. A motorcycle fell on my leg. That sounds so stupid. It was not even running when it happened. I had ridden on the back of a motorcycle many, many times, even barreling down the freeway at like 120 miles an hour. No problems there. Oh no, the one time something bad happens is when it was stock still parked and I was climbing onto it and it tipped over because the little kickstand wasn't up correct. That was the time it fell over and landed on my leg, and it was like a 600-pound fucking bike. So it's probably a wonder that it didn't snap my leg off or something. That was kind of a wonder that it really didn't damage anything, but for how much it hurt to walk on that foot, to be on the safe side. I had the ankle X-ray, but it was fine, so. There was that one. I've had many chest X-rays, especially in the ER, but, yeah, for my heart, for all the bones in the ribcage area, see fluid build up around my heart, around my lungs, all sorts of shit. That one's been a thing. Excuse me, that was gross, I'm sorry. I've had broken ribs checked on. I think I've had my shoulders checked for, oh, what the hell were the shoulders checked for? I don't remember, but I remember it was a thing at one point. That might have been the bike crash. Not the motorcycle, I mean little bicycle. I have had this wrist checked because of a very, very negligent ER nurse one time, completely fucked up, and apparently took his aggressions out on my hand. All he was supposed to be doing was supposed to be putting in an IV. And I told him which vein would work. He ignored me. What could I possibly know? I mean, just a patient who's had blood work and IVs more times than I can count my whole life, but what could I know, right? So obviously he tried every single one that looked viable and they all collapsed, and so that didn't work. So he tried the back of my hand, and he fucked up badly enough to where not only was I literally shooting blood out of my hand because he fucked it up so bad, he also did permanent nerve damage in one spot on this hand, and he fractured this knuckle from gripping my hand so fucking tight because I was screaming in pain when he hit that nerve, because it was quite possibly literally the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. That was when I knew something is very wrong with what this guy is doing. It should not ever feel like that, because I've had countless IVs put in. None of them have ever felt anything like that, and it was just immediate new something's very wrong here. And I looked down at my hand and oh, great, there's a huge pool of blood everywhere, and we probably would have had a hell of a lawsuit, and I don't know why we didn't pursue that, but yeah, he actually fractured this knuckle right here from gripping my hand so hard, on top of doing nerve damage and, like, totally jacking up one vein in the back of my hand. Great! I hope that guy got fired. I filed a complaint. So that was the thing. They had to just, like, check the whole area, but there was only the one that actually had a hairline fracture in it. And that may be all the X-rays I've had. I'm trying to think if there was any others. I think that's it, though. Pretty sure. Okay, so Y is for your favorite food. Oh, thank God, finally an easy one. Thank you. That would be fettuccine alfredo. Boom. And Z is for Zodiac Sign. I am a Capricorn! I mean Capricorn, which is totally the same thing because Capricorns are kind of crappy. Not gonna lie. We are kind of bitches. Just saying. So, that was the ABC tag. I encourage you guys to take it too, and if you do, let me know in the comments that you did, and I'll go check out your video as well. And if you don't want to do it, that's totally okay. You are in no way obligated to do it. I just wanted to because it looked fun. So anyway, I will definitely be back later with more videos, and as usual, if you liked the video, click the like button. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Leave comments down below, and until next time, bye!